Welcome to the EnviroHouse's how-to. I am Jenny and I work at Garden Sphere. I'm going to be talking to you about pots and specifically like how to pick a pot, how to keep it clean, watered, any of the tools you might need when potting up plants using the pots. So pots come in different sizes. We've got, this is kind of a medium large, it's a terracotta. This is probably a medium small, it's a plastic. And this is another plastic and it's a little bit smaller than this one. It's about as small as you'd want to go if you were doing outdoor potting. They come in many different materials. We've got terracotta, plastic. There are recycled materials you can use for pots as well. Terracottas are great because they already have a drain hole at the bottom. They retain water really well. You'll see when the pot is very wet because the color will change as well. Now this plastic pot is pretty cool. This catches the water at the bottom. If you can see that black there, it's got holes at the bottom. Now that means you don't necessarily need to drill any holes for drainage in this. You could water every 3 or 4 days and it'll retain the water down here, but it won't drown your roots. It's got a nice lip, very lightweight. If you want to go more of the decorative side, there are tons of decorative pots that are plastic. This one again, with the plastic pots, a lot of them you're going to have to drill the holes at the bottom. I would say, get a drill bit, get it in there, and you are going to want to drill holes because if you do not drill the holes, the water is going to build up in your pot and your roots are going to rot and your plant is going to die. But with the pots, again, you can get many different varieties, lots of decorative pots out there now. When you're catching the water, you're going to want a tray. So this terracotta tray goes with the terracotta pot. Now you don't necessarily need to have the same color. They make a lot of terracotta pots that are in various colors, pinks, blues, whites, marbles, but you are going to want to make sure that they fit. So when you're choosing a tray, you're going to want to make sure your pot fits in the tray with about a ½ inch to an inch room all the way around the circumference of the pot at the base of the pot. Okay, so this is a terracotta base. You could, if you didn't want to use a terracotta base, you could use a plastic base. Now this one doesn't necessarily need a tray because it catches that water on the bottom and you don't need to water as often. If you drill the holes at the bottom, you are going to need a base. This is an 8-inch saucer base, plastic base. It has feet at the bottom, so it doesn't sit directly on the ground or on your deck if you're doing this on a deck, which is great because then you don't get a buildup of moisture between your surface and your tray. Again, you're going to want to make sure that your tray fits in that base. You're going to have a ½ inch to an inch at the bottom. The really nice thing about the clear bases is that they hide very well. So you're focused on the color of the pot, you're focused on your foliage you've planted, and you're not focused on that tray. This will also need a tray. So you're going to place that in there. This is slightly larger. It's okay. It's about an inch in diameter there, the feet. There's another type of surface protector, and it's cork and this plastic on the back, kind of looks like a spider web on the back there. And you can use this as well. It's not going to catch the water like your drainage bases will, but it will protect your surface. So if you get moisture built up in, say, this pot where you're not going to drill those holes, it will protect your surface from moisture buildup. So it just sets right on there, just like that. And that cork will absorb that water and it will evaporate off really nicely. You can use these protectors as well underneath your terracotta. If you're using them underneath the terracotta pots because they do build up moisture, moss, little bugs living under there and things, you are only going to want that surface protector to cover the base. You don't want it to be over the base of that drainage tray. Okay, so you'd put that here, drainage tray, and the pot. And now your deck or the surface you're putting your pot on is totally protected. You're catching that water and you've got the right size pot. Another tool that you are going to need is you're going to need some gloves because you're going to be digging in the dirt a lot. Gloves come in small, medium, large sizes and extra large sizes. This particular brand has many different colors, so if your favorite color is yellow, totally can do that. You're going to need a trowel, okay, any size. You can get the cheapest one. It's just for making sure you can dig in those holes and dig in your soil. Another way to protect your pots, put them up off of the ground. This is a protector. Again, you don't need that tray if you're outside, if you don't need it, but it'll keep it up off of that deck surface or off of the surface you're putting your pot. This is customizable. You cut these off to the size of your pot base. There are also pot toes. Pot toes, same idea. With the pot toes, you're going to put 3 at the base here. And you can scoot them in. And again, it just lifts that pot up off of a surface and you're able to protect the surface your pot is sitting on without getting it mucked up during the season in which you're planting. And they come in these bags of 12 toes. Okay, so you'll have lots left over and they're fairly inexpensive. You are going to need a watering can. I really like this type of watering can because it has the long neck. It also has a removable head, so you can clean that head out if anything gets in there. It's great. You can tilt it this way. I like to tilt it up because then the water is going directly in. So you are going to need a watering can. Potting soil, many different sizes, okay? You just want a good potting soil that is going to have a nice combination of soil, microbes, you've got some perlite in there. It's going to hold and retain water as well as have nutrients for your plant. So this will be used as well. Over the season, you're going to want to pick up some fertilizers. This is an organic grow. This is an all-purpose fertilizer. So if you are doing flowers, herbs, veggies in any of your pots, the all-purpose is great. This is Bloom. It's an organic product. Bloom is going to be primarily for flowers, and that's annuals or perennials that you have potted up. These are both liquids, okay? You are going to be able to use a fertilizer that is granular. This is just an all-purpose, works great for everything from blooming to herbs, anything you want to put in your pots. It does have a specific fertilizer just for blooms as well if you would want that. And this is a granular, and you're going to mix it in when you put your soil in. You put a little bit of the granular, mix it up, and it'll be there for several weeks. Up to 6 weeks is great. If you're watering a lot, the liquid will go through, so you're going to have to do it every 3 weeks. So you can do it less, half as much, if you're using the granular. Now that you have everything you need, you can start your planting. Thanks for watching this EnviroHouse how-to. Subscribe to the playlist, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time.